Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, on this Wednesday evening here, 15th of November. And we're going to be looking at the midweek update for uranium, where we look at the ETFs, some ratios just to see where we are in time. I wouldn't say the most important thing of this video is, but please let me know if the volume is fine. I mean, again, many people are saying that it's too low. Hopefully I have fixed it. Please let me know in the comments below if it's better or if it needs to somehow get even higher. I think I've turned it up as much as possible. Anyways, please let me know. Yeah, as always, do your own due diligence. This is just how I see the markets, and uranium is definitely one of my favorite sectors for now. For now. Alrighty, let's get into business here. I've cleaned up the chart a bit just to have the focus on what I think is the most important stuff right now. There's always tons of stuff going on, but I like to have the lines that right now matters to me. And yeah, let's get into business here. URA. URA, the good Global X Uranium ETF. Where should we start? We should do like this. Alrighty, here we are. What worries me, I wouldn't say worry, but there are two sides of the coin here, in my view. We have this move up high right there. Let me zoom in actually. We have this move up here. Wow, that move up all the way here into this resistance, these highs over here. And then we have a sharp move down and what could be, as mentioned a few times, a bear flag in the making. So what I am very interested in right now, two things. If this orange uptrend holds, then the bear flag will be negated, obviously, with a break to the upside. Then that bear flag is no longer in the making because we have taken out the high. So we really want to take out the high here at roughly, let's call it 28.5, negating the bear flag. However, if we start to break down here, you can see that would cause a break of the uptrend, meaning we're going in for at least an ABC move where we could go all the way down to where we had that major breakout here in August, July, August. And maybe we could go all the way down here before we go higher. Again, long term, my conviction is the same. Short term, we should be a bit worried about that bear flag. However, two scenarios, we need to take out the highs. We really need to take out the highs here to negate the bear flag. And then I wouldn't be so much worried at the moment. Yeah, that's the take on URA. Same thing, basically, more or less, on the URNM. Basically, we have the highs here, the possible bear flag. If it breaks, we break the uptrend channel. It's more or less the same thing. You could argue that we have broken that, you can see there's a bull flag here, and we're just retesting it now. So hopefully that is the case. But again, this is very valid still. And again, you should be looking at both sides of where we are. So if all of a sudden we start to collapse here, you're not going like, oh, what is wrong? What is the thesis? Is it over? No, we should say, all right, I have looked at the possibilities of that breakdown there. And if it happens, you know why. And also maybe you have a plan. Maybe you want, all right, I have some extra cash that I need to buy miners. Then you can say, all right, maybe if we get that drop here, I start to buy into some miners, or yeah, whatever, how you wanna play the game. So have a plan. If the plan is to do nothing, super, that's also a plan. But don't start to say what the hell is going on when, and technically it's just some textbook breakdown here. And again, the possibility is very open. URNJ, same thing. Again, I won't go into details. You have the highs, you have the bear flag. You also have some sort of bull flag here, bullish pin, where we have broken out, fake out, and then we are in again. So a lot of stuff going on here. Again, I cannot tell you the direction. I can only tell that if you plot on all the weekly moving averages and the daily, they are all tuning up or turning up to the upside. So I would say that I'm more in favor of the upside move compared to the downside move. Again, how many percent? I have no idea. Maybe 70, 30, something in that area. Again, you can see the bear flag here. If it were to break, then we are at least going down to the lower of that pennant here at roughly 20. So again, keep that in mind. Always be prepared to face what the charts might be showing to you. U.UN also mighty strong long term, mighty, 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 mighty strong. Look at it here long term. I mean, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. However, zooming in all the way into the daily, we are at this rising golden trend line here. And what is happening here within the past few months is this bearish pennant. And you can be as bullish as you want on U.UN, but if we start to break down here, that is short term at least a move lower. Obviously, long term, again, I will say it, I'm very bullish, but if this breaks to the downside, you should be prepared for some sort of move to the downside, depending on how you measure them. And we could go all the way back to the highs here, as mentioned many times, at roughly 20. That would obviously suck short term. But again, this is never a good sign to see when you have had this long of a move, from 15, 16 all the way up to 26. So having that move at the end there, not ideal, that's for sure. Again, if we for some reason you can see how close we are to breaking out also. So the positive side is obviously a big move, and then we can actually gain some ground here very quickly here with a major move up to the upside. So again, that is also happening. But I will say this though, looks a bit more bearish than bullish. That's just my take. Let's go to the XLE against the SPX. Last week, we had that thing where we talked about, do we break down here? Yes, we did. And we having followed through this week as well. Neckline, the blue here, as mentioned, I think will be the next stop here. Then we will have a complete retest. And that's where the important part happens. Because if it is a retest and then you roll over, then XLE is going to underperform heavily against SPX, at least for the next 6 months, maybe 3 to 6 months. However, if we then, for some reason, the retesting here doesn't hold and we go up again, then you have outperformance. Again, these are the two scenarios that I'm looking at. So let's add in the upper golden right there, and we have the blue neckline right here. So we have more things going on. We have some sort of squeezing pattern here, but also we have to, well, not appreciate, but confirm that this neckline here cannot be broken. Otherwise, you have a confirmation of a major neckline breakdown here. Again, if we break down, as always, what happens here? We going for that retest, just like we saw on Nvidia for like the last week or two. You also had the breakdown of the neckline. You came in for the retest, and we popped back in, negating it, and boom, it did like that. So again, anything is possible. You just have to follow the charts and what options or which kind of routes that it might be showing you. So that is how I'm always trying to have both sides of the coin. I think that's very, very helpful. Again, XLE against URNM underperforming here. We have lower highs and lower lows. However, you can see if you do the count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, I think this move here down is over, and I think we could be in for some sort of bigger move, some sort of counter trend move, and then ultimately going to roll over again. So I think this move here is overdone, and we should be looking into some sort of outperformance by XLE versus URNM. Obviously, if we take out this low here, for example, let's say we go down here and test it and we start to collapse, then again, that is clearly not going to be the case. But still, for now, lower highs and lower lows, that is the definition of a downtrend. Also, the 30 weekly I just added here, coming down sharply. However, you can notice the gap here. We are pretty far away. Again, same here, pretty far away. Counter trend move, pretty far away. Counter trend move. So it happens all the time, and I think we will be in for some sort of same thing, and then we will roll over, and I think we will visit these lows here, where the URNM had the highs back in 2021. What do we have here? We have the URNM against the uranium spot price looking better and better and better. However, we're still not having that big move to the upside. We know we had this breakout here, and now we came all the way down for a major retest below the 30 weekly. A bit scary. Also, we were back into or below that golden trend line right here. We came below here, you can see, but now we're above again. 30 weekly coming up. So this looks like we have that breakout, and then we have bullish consolidation. I know the angle is a bit steep. That's not ideal. I want to have it a bit more flattening. However, that is a breakout of that shorter term squeeze. Let's go to the daily to see if we can add some more detailed lines here. You can see we have it all the way down here. There it is. Then you have the lower side, something around there, give or take. So that was your retrace into the retest, and then obviously it looks a bit more bullish at the moment. So that's very nice to see. That's exactly what we want to see, to be honest. And then now again we have a major blue resistance here. We almost reached it there, and I think if we go all the way up here, that will be a big one of the bigger resistances to get through, and hopefully we'll do something like that. URA against the spot price, still long term. I love it. I love this setup here. Again, roughly 10-year long neckline, and sorry, I just had to pause the video. Anyways, where were we? The big overview of URA against the uranium spot price. Inverted head and shoulders in the making. Lovely neckline. Anyways, going down to the past 2 years, we are still just going to go away. We're still just squeezing it out here. Bit of a fake out here, as you know, all the way down to the lower, and now we are kissing the upper trend line as we speak. Again, this is coiled up as you can get it. Hopefully, we will see that spike first, and we will not have that major capitulation here, and then we go. Hopefully, it will be actually having that false breakdown here, and then it's way more bullish long term, but would suck short term. But still looking fantastic. URA against the CRBs. I want to show you a very important trend line here coming across. There it is at roughly 0.1. There it is. We also have some connections in here, and then that's where we are right now. So getting above there, obviously, looking at it from a long-term perspective, is really, really important to outperform the CRBs. And yeah, I had a trend line here. It's gone for some reason. Breakout, retest a bit below here, down to the highs, and now we're blasting up again, showing outperformance by URA compared to CRBs. 30 weekly coming up very nicely, very sharply. Nothing to worry about in my honest opinion. URA against the SPY. Major breakout, you know this one. Let's go to the daily so you can have a bit more detail what's happening here. Pivot high. We can now connect the highs right there. Again, pivot low, maybe a pivot low there. Maybe I say that because the angle is a bit harsh, but anyway, we are somewhat squeezing it up here. I think that's somewhat valid still. If you connect the high lows there, yes, I think it's okay. So there you have it. Hopefully, all this consolidation, and then we blast higher. I think that's very valid. Let's keep it in for future videos. I want to make them with blue so it doesn't overlap. There it is. Okay, let's see if this how this plays out. But again, overall long-term breakout, happened in August this year, and yeah, long-term it's very bullish against the SPY. Want to zoom out here on the NASDAQ or the URA against the NASDAQ just to show you, not to go into much detail. Just look at it here, this zone here. I know you've seen it many times, so many times. Again, if and when we get above, I mean, that's where the real fun begins. That will be a moment in time where uranium companies will heavily outperform the tech sector. So if you were to place, in my view, to place one line on one zone in this case, that would be it. Major downtrend, sideways action with the basing highs here. That would be the confirmation for a major long-term outperformance by URA. But for now, we're still below, so we cannot celebrate. Same thing as before. We have some sort of tightening squeeze right here. Again, this angle is a bit high, so I would prefer this low to be a bit lower, so we have the same angle as the upper. However, I think it's okay. But let's see where we go, and maybe this is valid. We will have to wait and see. URA against the good old Bitcoin. Major down day today, down 7%. I mean, URA is down 7% versus Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin had an amazing day, like 6%, 6% or so, to my surprise, really. But yeah, I think we are going to break down here in favor of Bitcoin. not ideal because we really, really want to take out that long-term golden trend line to start the outperformance, but we just simply can't. The downtrend is still intact. If we break down here, it's still very much intact. And we could actually, I want to show you the bearish side against for URA against Bitcoin with a first impulse move. You have the second, and then you could have a third, and that would be typically where you complete this overall, oops, this overall structure right there. Why can I not like this? Excuse me, there it is. Very quickly, nothing too new under the hood here. Spot against the good old silver. I think this is the pivot high, move down, retest. Yes, that's where we're going, in my honest opinion. Same thing, major breakup, pivot high, retest of neckline. It is very simple technical analysis here, and then we boom higher to the upside. I think this was a great, obviously I have to say that, but I think it was a good video today showing, a bit more long-term, and also changed the way I want to present stuff here. Again, let me know if this was better, or if you didn't notice anything, that's fine. But the important thing is the volume. Please let me know that it is good, because I want to give you the best experience of my thoughts, really. Have a great one, guys, and comment below, please, on the volume. Cheers.